really turned it into a community interfaith event, not just on LDS. It was incredible. And those guys, the churches, 4 of the 5 had a great turnout. And the 5th one, the Presbyterian Church, said, well, thanks for the trash bags. So I would get 5,000 bags.
By the way, it's awesome.
It's 4 o'clock, so we're going to get started. Welcome to City Council. Tonight we have Tim Martin, the Secretary General. That's what they have you marked as now.
Yeah, that's it.
With the St. George Interfaith Council, representing the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, to say our invocation.
Thank you. It's Secretary General because I made myself the permanent secretary when we started the Interfaith Council 12 years ago, because I know that he who controls the agenda controls the world. And so I said, hey, that'll be me. 2 things I would say. First, I was talking to Mark, the 9/11 cleanup that was the city and involved the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I invited the Interfaith Council leaders, Rabbi Helene Einbinder, our president, to come to that planning meeting along with Carol Drake from the St. George Catholic Church, who's our vice president. And so 5 of the pickup places for that 9/11 event were churches from the Interfaith Council. So we had the Lutheran Church and Solomon's Porch and the Presbyterian Church and the Catholic Church and one other I can't think of. And they had a great experience. 4 of them were just overloaded, and the 5th one said, thanks for the trash bags. He had some left over. But it really made it a great community event to have Rabbi Helene and Carol Drake from the Catholic Church with all these stake presidents and everybody planning this thing. So thanks to Mark, it really turned out to be a great thing. Coming up, the St. George Interfaith Council will be doing the crop walk the 2nd Saturday in November. And Mayor Randall, we hope you can join us. Yeah, Rabbi Helene will be there too, talking. Just to explain, Danielle asked me, what is the crop walk? The crop walk is, we've done this now 11 years, communities responding to overcome poverty, and we'll have several hundred people there who will make donations, and then they walk 6 miles on the trails from Larkspur Park, which is the distance that people in the third world countries walk every day to get food, water, and work. And it just kind of makes it real for all of us, and a great community event. For some churches, this is their service event for the year. So it's a great thing, and we invite all of you, and Adam has connected me with the planning organization within the city, so we'll get good coverage on that. So thank you for helping the Interfaith Council become part of the community. It's working really well, and the people are really enjoying it and learning as they go how events can be well planned. So if you'll please join me in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we're so thankful this day for the wonderful community that we live in. We're thankful for the moisture we've received. We pray for more. We pray that we might have this drought end. We're thankful for the many events that we're able to have in this community and for the great community support. We pray that the citizens of St. George will realize the value that they can bring as they donate their time and effort to support these great events. We're thankful for our council, for our mayor, for our city leaders that sacrifice so much to make these events, to make our community such a wonderful place to live. We're thankful for the opportunity we have to be here, to enjoy this wonderful weather, to be able to enjoy the spirit of St. George as we work together. We ask thy blessing now to be with the council, with the leaders, with Mayor Randall as they conduct this meeting, that they might be inspired by thee to know the things that should be said and done, and will be able to continue to bless this wonderful community. And this prayer we ask in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Tim, thank the Interfaith Council for all they do.
I
and
will.
For that day of service, pass that on. We really appreciate it.
It was great.
I can't even imagine how many thousands of pounds of garbage was picked up that day. So.
Yeah, we used all the bags. Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Councilman Smethurst, will you lead us in the pledge? Thank you. And we need to excuse Councilman Hughes. He is out of town today. And we have a few items on the pre-agenda. I don't see Jimmy Keston here. He's on his way, so we'll get to him later. So I'm going to turn some time over to Mark Mortensen. And I'll turn my phone on silent.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. We are in the presence of a world champion. I'd like to have Diane Tracy come join me here up at the stand for a second, please, if she would. Let me give you just a little background about Diane. I've known Diane for some time in the world of the cycling community and running community here in St. George. Diane has run 45 marathons, 23 of which are the St. George. Started triathlon at the age of 60. Since then, 18 full Ironman events, 16 70.3 events, 6 full distance wins, 3 70.3 wins, and she's turning 70 in a couple weeks. Diane is a world champion in the women's age group of 70 to 75 for the Intermountain Healthcare 2021 Ironman 70.3 World Championship. Diane Tracy. Oh, we're not done, Diane. We need to give the stats here. I know Riley read them at the champion banquet, but here is how her race shaped up on an interesting day last Saturday. Her swim, 51 minutes and 40 seconds. Her bike, 3 hours, 21 minutes and 37 seconds. And her run, 2 hours, 25 minutes and 49 seconds for a combined total time, world championship time, of 6 hours, 51 minutes and 45 seconds. Diane Tracy. Can we get a photo real quick?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if we can see you through that. Here, I'll hold this over here. So
you blend into the flowers. Thank you so much. Oh, congratulations. That is so awesome.
And one more thing that's pretty important, too, is Diane is a fantastic employee of the City of St. George, and we're thrilled to have her work for us. Mayor, also, you've asked me to say a couple words about an announcement that was recently made today, around 2:45 to be exact, but who's counting? It was recently announced by the Ironman Corporation that St. George will be the home. Actually, let me rephrase that. Our May 7th, 2022 event is going to get an upgrade. We will be the home of the 2021 in 2022 Ironman World Championship in St. George, Utah, Super Sapiens. So congratulations, St. George. It'll be held on what would normally be the North American Pro Championship Day, which is May 7th, 2022. We're just upgrading the event a little, and we're bringing in about 1,000, maybe 1,200 more athletes for a combined total of about 4,000 athletes. I can't overstate the economic impact that this event and many other Ironman events have had in our community, what they do for our community, how they've changed our culture, how they've made us healthier, and certainly we've all benefited from the decades worth of work and energy put into this event in St. George. Kevin Lewis is here, and I just wanted to give him just one brief minute to say a couple things. He's been instrumental. He is our official liaison between Washington County and Ironman, and a very close friend of mine, and one that I've worked with very closely on this event. And he and his staff at Greater Zion are the very best, just like the City of St. George staff is the very best. It's a great partnership. So Kevin, if you'd like to just say a couple words about the World Championship coming up, the two World Championships coming up.
Sure. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate the time, and I really like the way Rabbi Randall rolls off the tongue.
Is that right?
I'm going to go with that from here on out. No, we're really excited about this. What has happened is in Kona, Hawaii, the conditions there, the pandemic conditions have been pretty tight down, and they have not been able to hold a World Championship, put on an event. And so they got looking to find an opportunity for their athletes to do this, and where we have been successful and been able to do that, and we showcased that this weekend. They actually came to us a week ago and presented the idea and asked what we thought and could we think we could make it happen. And so we got together with the Utah Sports Commission, who's heavily involved financially in this project, and navigated it over the course of trying to put on a World Championship. We were navigating trying to host another one and figured out a way to do it. It really is exciting that the event in Hawaii is the most prestigious endurance event in the world. It's been there for over 40 years. Never left the Big Island, and there are so many stories of perseverance and magic and endurance that go along with that. It has its own mystique, but we have ours here too. We've been showing that to the world over the last 10, 12 years, and the world's recognized and come to understand that this is really, really a unique community and an environment. We're really excited to be a sister to a destination like Kona with that kind of a reputation, and to know that we're respected on that level. I think it says a lot about us. It also puts a lot of weight on our shoulders to do something and to hold up the traditions and the legacies that have been held for years and years and years there. But we can do it. We've always done it. We're excited to do it, and we appreciate the city's support in doing that. And I have to say, just congratulations on everything that happened over the past week, and thank you for the incredible community and leadership that you have here in St. George City, the public safety officials and police and fire and EMS and everybody that gets involved. Your parks department, holy cow, congratulations on such a spectacular running city, and one that can be looked at as a place that could host an event like this. We're excited about it.
Kevin, I just need to say, well, you and your team did an absolute phenomenal job. All of us were at the finish line. And as the first female runner finished, I saw how emotional you and your team and Diana got, that we made it happen, and they crossed, and we have winners, and it's just so inspirational to be down there. And then also that the Ironman wants to come here. This is a 140.6 race. This isn't a 70.3. This is the big show. And it says so much about Washington County, St. George, our community. And when we were picked for the championship, and it came down between St. George and Chattanooga, I asked Diana specifically, why did you pick St. George over Chattanooga? And she said it was the people. Mm-hmm. And so that says so much about our community. So we look forward to hosting them again, and then again the end of October.
So yeah, 3 World Championships in the course of 13 months. No community has ever done anything like that. We've got a lot of weight on our shoulders and a big reputation to uphold, but we do it. We always do it. We rise to it. And so we're thankful to be a part of that.
Kevin, isn't it true that there's a strong possibility that we'll be the only community ever who hosts the 140.6 outside of Hawaii? Outside
of Hawaii. At this stage, yeah. They've got plans now with the announcement. They're going back to Kona in October of 2022. They're going to turn that into a 2-day event. So they'll have a women's race and a men's race then. So it will have a whole new flavor and feel there. But that's what they've tried to do, is build and turn this into a positive. And so we come here and we do something really unique, and then they go back there and they've created a new atmosphere in that. So it is potentially, that we're the only city outside of Kona that could ever host this. We're the first city outside of Kona, and that says a lot in itself. So, yeah, congratulations.
Well, I got to say, Kevin and Mark as well. Hey, guys, thank you for bringing us to the world stage. It's because of you guys that we were getting this, and this is it's incredible. I'm blown away and so excited. It's such a big thing for St. George. So thanks for all you guys do.
Thank you.
And I want to say thanks. I know my mother will be very happy it's not on rodeo weekend. And others.
For sure. Yeah.
We were a hopping town last week.
Oh, man, we were.
But we did it, and we do. All of the staff, every department throughout the city helped in one way or the other. And Trevor said today in our staff meeting, how many hours? 213 hours city staff donated down at the Ironman. So volunteered.
Volunteer time.
Yeah, volunteer time. So
congratulations. So many stories out there on the day, 3,500 athletes, and all of them have a story, and there's some very powerful ones. I hope you get a chance to hear them all, but most of them share the same kind of thread, and that is this community stepped up and rose to the occasion in every case. I just heard one where somebody left their shoes, I guess, at the in their apartment, and got to the swim start on the bus, and they didn't have their shoes, and so they ran back to the bus, and the woman bus driver drove the person back and was making phone calls to a sister or something, who then went to the house, took this athlete to the house to get the shoes, brought him back to the bus to get out to the swim start again. It's just there's so many stories like that. Just a phenomenal community we live in, and we're glad to be a part of it.
thanks, Kevin. We look forward to it. Jimmy Keston, I saw you sneak in.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm sorry about the confusion on the start time for today. Many of the other Exchange Club members were planning on being here if it was a 5 o'clock, but they sent me because it was 4, because apparently that was good. It is, we are so excited to have the Mayor's Walk back and the marathon back at full force, and this will be your first Mayor's Walk as our mayor, and we are excited to be doing it. The St. George Exchange Club, along with State Bank of Southern Utah, Cherry Creek Media, City of St. George, and St. George Races, have been putting on the Mayor's Walk for, I think, this 34th year. Seems like forever since we've done it after missing last year, and we are very excited to be back. Of course, the Mayor's Walk this year is kind of special. It will be a 1-mile walk instead of 2, and we will start at...
And that wasn't at my request,
that
by
was
the
not
way.
that was not at the mayor's request. You wanted it to be a 10K, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And but with the mini marathon, as it's being called, the half, we wanted to make sure that the finish line didn't get jammed up, so we brought the Mayor's Walk to a mile. So why run 26 miles when you can walk a mile and get a scone?
Exactly.
And that is the theme of the Mayor's Walk this year. Plus that $10 registration gets you the Mayor's Walk, official Mayor's Walk t-shirt, the scone breakfast, a drawing ticket into the prize drawing at the finish line, and the opportunity to really experience really one of the special events in this community. Is hundreds will join you on that day to take that walk down to the finish line and get to cross the finish line. It's been our custom at the Exchange Club to, because of the city's sponsorship, and we will supply you, the council, and any of your significant others who want to participate in the Mayor's Walk with a complimentary t-shirt, scone breakfast. Your registration is taken care of by the Exchange Club. We have your run numbers here and ready to present them to you. Of course, this year, everybody is number 1.
Of course, can't have any losers.
And so, Mayor, we want to present you your official run number, as is our custom, and then we've got several here. And then T-shirts, we would normally present T-shirts at the same time, but with supply chains and that, T-shirts will be ready about the middle of next week. It looks like we are set with, we were sweating a little bit on getting the kids' sizes here, but we've now been told all the shirts are in. They will all be in production, and we will have those shirts ready for pickup either at the expo or the morning of the walk, whatever's most convenient. Registration for Mayor's Walk is found online through the marathon website.
stgeorgemarathon.com.
Yep. Or you can register all day at the expo next Friday, or even for late arrivers, first thing Saturday morning. We will start 7 a.m. sharp from the school district building.
Yep, down by Town Square. I'll come and get those numbers from you, Jimmy.
And again, on behalf of the St. George Exchange Club and all of our sponsors, State Bank of Southern Utah, Cherry Creek, St. George Races, we are so appreciative to be doing a Mayor's Walk this year and looking forward to having a really great time. So everybody register and come join us for the walk.
Thank you. So 2 more pre-agenda items. First, we have a marathon proclamation that I'm going to have Danielle read.
I will read this on behalf of Mayor Randall. Proclamation, whereas the 45th St. George Marathon will be held on Saturday, October 2nd, 2021, and whereas this annual endurance event hosted by the City of St. George is a display of community spirit, unity, and commitment, and whereas the City of St. George and the State of Utah is proud to welcome each of the 7,000 runners participating in the 26.2-mile marathon and the inaugural 13.1-mile mini-marathon, which is set to host the largest number of participants in the history of the race. And whereas this annual event is an international display of endurance with marathon, mini-marathon, Mayor's Walk, and kids event celebrating runners, spectators, and volunteers. And whereas known as #LikeNoOther, the St. George Marathon is a testament and celebration of determination, resilience, and resolve. Now, therefore, I, Michelle Randall, Mayor, along with the City Council of the City of St. George, do hereby proclaim October 2nd, 2021 as Marathon Day in the City of St. George and ask our citizens to recognize and congratulate these runners, thank the volunteers for giving back to our community, and the spectators for their support.
Give it to Michelle. Michelle and Shane. And I need to thank them for being on the radio this morning to talk about the marathon and the Mayor's Walk.
Let's set it up.
And say the long-haired guy standing up there, not Shane Moore, the other guy, Aaron. He's won our marathon before, so we're cheering that he'll 3 times. We're hoping he does it again this year. Good luck, Aaron. Thanks, Michelle.
And we just have these hats to present to the council.
Okay, thank you.
Marathon Day.
Oh, those are great.
You want to start with that, and we'll just pass them around. Okay, and the last proclamation I have is for Recovery Day. Here you go. Whereas it is evident that individuals in our community, through treatment and community support, do recover from addictions and the harmful effects those addictions create in their lives and the lives of their families. And whereas the families of those suffering from addiction provide ongoing love and support to those on the road to recovery. And whereas volunteers throughout our community offer their time and service to assist individuals and families recovering from addiction. And whereas our community of professionals dedicate their work to further each individual's progress in their personal recovery. And whereas recovery from addiction results in stronger citizens who contribute to our community in meaningful ways and assist others who are climbing the same ladder of recovery. And whereas celebrating The successful recovery stories of these individuals, families, volunteers, and professionals reinforces those successes and encourages others that there is hope, that treatment is effective, and that recovery is possible. Now, therefore, I, Michelle Randall, Mayor, along with the City Council of the City of St. George, do hereby proclaim September 30th, 2021 as Recovery Day in the City of St. George, and call upon all citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, medical facilities, and businesses to join in this celebration of individual, family, and community recovery from the effects of addiction, thereby strengthening this community in which we live. I'm so emotional about that because I have a nephew who is in treatment as we currently speak. He's been there 2 weeks. And we came really close to losing him. And today I also have a niece who's here who has been through hell and back and is totally recovered and helping others recover. And Brian has been down this road too. It's affected so many families. So Marcy, I'm happy to present this proclamation to you if you want to come up and say a few words, and then I'll come down and present it, and if you'll introduce the people who are with you.
I thought they were all going to come with me. I'm happy to accept this proclamation on behalf of the Recovery Day Committee, which majority of them are here. Recovery Day, I've been a part of it for the past 11 years. This is our 11th annual. Recovery, I'm a person in long-term recovery, and for me that means I get to be a productive member of society today, to show up for my family, my friends, and I get to help the next person who's entering the journey for recovery. And that goes to that's the same for the rest of the people here. I would like to have them stand.
Absolutely.
And if and because it's so powerful to share our own voice as a recovery, I would really like for them to just say who they are, speak their name.
Please come to the mic and tell us your name.
My name is Taz Decker.
I'm Christy Angus, and I'm in recovery.
My name's Chad Brandon. I'm an alcoholic.
My name's Ty Empey, and I am in recovery.
My name's Crystal Randall, and I'm in recovery.
I'm Ben Martinez, and I'm a person in long-term recovery.
My name is Julie Watson, and I'm a person in long-term recovery.
My name is Daniel Payne. I'm a person in long-term recovery.
My name is Jared Miller, and I'm a person in long-term recovery.
My name is Mitch Payne, and I'm a person in long-term recovery.
I want you to know how much hope you give so many of us, especially people that are in the thick of it right now. I hope someday my nephew's there and he can say he's in long-term recovery with all of you. You're inspiring. You truly are. And I am so grateful you're here, and I hope people will show up for this event. I will be out of town along with all of the city council. We will be at a conference, but I've asked my son to come and read this proclamation for me on my behalf. He's a police officer, and he said he would be more than happy to be there. So, Marcy, I'll give you this.
As she's walking down, I just want to say that Recovery Day is September 30th at Town Square from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And tonight, over at the Confluence Park, we are having a recovery fun run. So if anybody's interested in coming on down, that would be great.
You want to get a picture? Can you all kind of squeeze in here? Get over here. Squeeze in. Don't be scared.
While they're walking back, I'd like to say how proud I am of each and every one of you. my son has been fighting this since 2004. We had him clean for about 3 years, which was the best 3 years of my life. And hopefully he has asked for help this last week. And hopefully in the next few days, we will get him back in the program. And I know that with friends like you all here, that he can come back after his program, and he has a place to feel safe. So to all of you, stay strong. Thank you for all you do.
Okay, well, can we go home now? We have an agenda. Adam, is there any changes to the agenda?
There will be 2 changes. When we get to these items, we're going to recommend that the council table both items 4 and 9. Both of those just need a little bit more work, and we want to make sure that they're all the way ready for the council to take action. And Mayor, if I could just take one quick minute.
Absolutely.
I want to recognize a new member of our staff. Many of you are aware that Deanna Berklasic, our longtime budget manager for the city, has recently been promoted to an assistant city manager role. And that's due for, so many different reasons, but Deanna just absolutely is a rock star. We're excited to have her in that new position, but that did create a vacancy in our budget manager position. And so we're very pleased. Robert, if you'll stand up, this is Robert Myers. Robert is our new budget manager and just joined the city this week. He's come to us from Texas. He's brought his family with him, and we're thrilled to have him as part of our organization. Can't wait to get to know your family as well. We're so glad you're here, and we have very high hopes for Robert. So far, so good, and I think he's going to make a great member of our team. So, Robert, welcome. We're happy to have you, and hope you enjoy your stay here. Hope it's a long stay as well.
We do hope it's a long stay. I was fortunate to be in on those interviews, and Robert just was far and above. He was just a great candidate, and he's got a great Texas accent, so he keeps saying y'all, but he doesn't know he's saying y'all, but I really love that he says y'all, so maybe pretty soon that'll stick around here and we'll all be saying y'all. So welcome, Robert. We're happy to have you on the team.
So, Council, that takes us to our consent calendar. We have a number of items here. These have all been reviewed and approved by staff. They're ready for your approval as well. If you have any that you'd like to take off for individual discussion, or if you have any questions, we're happy to answer those. Otherwise, they're ready to go.
I'm excited about 1F. That's exciting.
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion by Brian, seconded by Vardell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, Council, I have on my notes that Wes is going to take item number 2. This is a public hearing consideration of an ordinance to approve an adjustment with the municipal boundary line with Washington City. And I don't know if we lost our projectors there. We'll get this up in just a minute.
You ready to go? Okay, as our city manager said, item 2 is a request for a public hearing in consideration of an ordinance approving the adjustment of a municipal boundary line. So right here is Crimson Cliffs High School. You may recall a few months ago, this subdivision came in for a preliminary plat called Breckenridge Estates. And there was a lot right here where a portion they did not own. It was actually owned by the school district, and it was actually in Washington City. And so they've actually purchased that portion of that lot now. So the boundary line will shift from right there to right there. And we pushed it on the west side of the road because this is the school and these are residents, and felt like the road ought to go with the residents. So the boundary line is proposed to adjust just like that.
Council, any questions before I open the public hearing? Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing for any who have come to comment on this item. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and come back to you, Council.
Mayor, I'll make a
motion that we approve the ordinance making an adjustment of a common municipal boundary line with Washington City.
Second.
Motion by Bardell, seconded by Danielle. This is an ordinance calling for a roll call vote, starting with Danielle.
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is a public hearing and consideration of an ordinance to vacate a portion of a utility and drainage easement. Let me locate you. This is located on 231 West St. George Boulevard. So basically, the easement, the building actually came from what I was talking to Todd Jacobson. The building actually came before the easement was dedicated. Go figure, I can't. But anyway, so here's the building, and then you'll notice on a blow up that the easement was actually dedicated through just the front portion of the building, right? No, I think it's actually along the rear portion of the building right there. And so that's what they're proposing to vacate, is that portion of the easement located within the building structure.
Any questions for Wes on this one? If not, I'll entertain a motion. We're going to rock and roll through this agenda. Oh, yes, there is a public hearing on this one. That's right. Thank you. Anyone who has come to comment on this item, I'll open the public hearing. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and come back to you, council.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve an ordinance to vacate a portion of the utilities and drainage easement evidenced by doc number 00866128.
Second.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Brian. All in favor, starting with Bardell.
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
So council, as a reminder, we recommend tabling item number 4.
And we're moving that to October 7th, right, John? Okay. So someone wants to make that motion?
I'll make a motion we table item 4 and move it until the city council session on October 7th.
Mm-hmm. Second.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Danielle. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Item 5, to consider approval of an ordinance amending the Riverwoods Business Park at Cottonwood Center Planned Development Commercial PD Zone to add another commercial building on Lot 3 to be known as Building 4 at the Foundry on approximately 1.56 acres located at 1600 South and 904 West. Here we have an aerial view of the proposed site. You can see Dixie Drive here on the left, and then the other buildings in the Foundry. There's actually another building which we'll see in an upcoming slide. The zoning, as mentioned, was PDC. Then here's the site plan again, showing the other 3 buildings, and then this proposed new building right here. These are just the elevations of the proposal, showing the different materials and features. And the materials board. And with that, I can answer any questions or...
Really nice buildings.
They're so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, yeah.
They've turned out really, really well.
Yeah, they've done a really good job over there.
Questions for Mike?
I make a motion to approve the ordinance changing the zone from open space to R3 to PDR on approximately 6.82 acres located north of the Gateway Drive, east of Cottonwood Springs Road, and west of the Twin Lakes Resort Subdivision.
I think that's a different one, Bri.
We're on
Item 5.
5.
Oh, you had it crossed out, sorry.
I did have it crossed out, sorry.
I'm gonna get my glasses. Sorry. Make a motion to approve the ordinance amending the Riverwood Business Park at Cottonwood Center Planned Development Commercial zoned to add another commercial building on Lot 3 to be known as Building 4 at the Foundry on approximately 1.56 acres located at 1600 South, 904 West.
Second.
That was tough.
Motion. Get your own notes next time.
Oh, sorry. I didn't get it.
Motion by Brian, seconded by Vardell. All in favor, starting with Brian.
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
Okay. Item 6, consider approval of an ordinance changing the zone from open space and R3 multifamily to PDR planned development residential on approximately 6.82 acres located north of Gateway Drive, east of Cottonwood Springs Road, and west of the Twin Lakes Resort Subdivision, known as Twin Lakes. Here again, we have the aerial view of it. You can see Cottonwood Springs here, and then Twin Lakes Drive here. The zoning, as mentioned, R3 and open space. And just an exhibit for the zone change. Here is the site plan. The site consists of 54 total units and 8 buildings. Then the landscape. And here are the proposed elevations. So this item was recommended for approval from the Planning Commission with the 3 conditions in the staff report. The applicant is aware of those conditions and is fine with those.
Mike, what about that rockfall hazard area? I noticed the conditions from the Planning Commission didn't include that. Was that part of the discussion?
That'll be
the
part.
Scaling and all that type of thing that they recommended?
It was for the hillside, which is the next item on the agenda.
It's on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Wes can answer that.
Okay. Very good.
These are the same items, but we're doing 2 motions, so.
But their recommendations on this one then included dressing them up a little bit. Does it need to say more than that, John?
Well, I know
it just says dress up the backs and sides.
Yeah, at the
so they're going to add some architectural interest, is what they mean by that.
Yeah, and they did discuss that at Planning Commission before they made that a condition.
Okay.
That was a similar question that I had. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Exactly.
Just adding some
It's
more.
a technical term.
Put lipstick
Dress
on,
up.
you know.
So it'd be helpful to discuss some specifics on, this is the rear elevations that they were discussing. And so I think we have a few options. They talked about adding some different material. As you can see, it's stucco. And so we could add some stone highlights or accents.
Stone or wood or anything would add to the interest of it for sure.
Yep, and so we can work with them on these upper portions, add a different material, whether it's wood or whatever the council thinks is appropriate.
You know, we've had a couple of townhome projects over the past few years that maybe have been simple, a lot more plain. I would think that this design, especially with what's being discussed, is going to provide a much longer lasting value to the neighborhood, to the surrounding property. I like the direction that's going. I think overall it's certainly headed in the direction of better architecture that's going to...
Yeah, a lot of ones we've seen in the past, they've just been one plane, continuous plane. The applicant did provide some relief in the architecture, probably more so than we've seen in previous projects.
Yeah, I agree. I just know, as Adam's mentioning, there's a few that I think, especially the rear, we haven't considered the rear as much as we should, and then the rear is like the portion that ends up being seen most. And so, yeah, I think if they just add some more features, either rock or wood, anything would definitely add to the architectural interest and make those pop out so they already added make it look a lot nicer.
And it looks like on the front elevation, they have this feature here, and so they could carry that on at least one of those pop-outs on the rear.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just to chime in, just considering, the entrance of the city where it's at. I see the importance.
Any other questions for Mike or John while John's standing there? If not, I'm ready for a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the zone change for Twin Lakes and that we include all of the recommendations from Planning Commission, that the applicant work with staff to address concerns on drainage, that they add the 10 additional guest parking stalls, and that they add the additional architectural interest to the backs and sides of the building.
Second.
Rock, paper, scissors. Motion by Danielle, seconded by Brian. All in favor, starting with Danielle.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Motion carries.
So the next two items are the hillside and the preliminary plat for the Twin Lakes. So I'll present them both, and then if you would just make two separate motions. So the first one is the request for a hillside development permit to allow the applicant to develop within the hillside overlay zone. So again, same area. So this is our slope analysis map right here. Normally on a slope analysis map right here, you'd have another cell, or another row, I should say, where it would list how much of it, that area slope category they're disturbing. They didn't add it because their proposal is here's the old highway road right through here. And so their request at Hillside was that all of this was already disturbed and should be allowed to be disturbed and not counted toward their disturbance area. Everything up above would just be left in its natural state, all of this. So I thought I had a better picture. So everything, it's always hard for me to figure out, everything below that road line, which I think is somewhere right in there, would be disturbed. And that was a request at Hillside. They said it's already disturbed. It was done, it was man-made, and so that was a request at Hillside, which the Hillside agreed with. So it'd be everything below that road right there would be disturbed. And then this is the rockfall hazard area. They discussed that. The report from the geotech came back and said that basically that shelf right there, since all of this was going to be disturbed or proposed to be disturbed below the road, everything up above was really then became the rockfall issue. The geotechnical engineer came back and said their study, because they have that shelf right there where the road is, they did an analysis and determined that the shelf would capture all of that material on the road, that flat area. And basically, as long as they left that in place, I think they had to come out 10 or 15 feet and leave that in place, and then the rest could be disturbed, as that would be the landing area for the rockfall. And that was their proposal, and that's what their study addressed. So the Planning Commission recommended approval on that as the mitigation for the rockfall hazard. Then here is the preliminary plat, amenity area. These two roads, would be public roads as part of this development. Right now, these are private roads. They're owned between this development here and the mobile home park. I can't think of the name of it. Anyways, they both own that. We just felt like it wasn't right to it wasn't good to add another party to the ownership of those private roads. So they're going to improve both of these roads to public roads. So this part of the subdivision would have public roads. Public road would end there, and then they'll have these three lots that they'll have to work out with them as far as getting access on a private road. They also have, let's see, right here, this is their drainage to collect it. However, and then they have a way to drain all their water through this site right there. However, because they're required to provide those 3 parking stalls per unit, they came back with this layout, eliminating the detention basin and adding the stalls just like that so they can meet the guest parking. And then basically their plan is to collect the runoff, have it come through here and pipe it and get it in pipes and run it back through their site here. And so their proposal is to eliminate that detention area.
Wes, maybe I didn't understand the geotechnical report correctly, but I thought it said that in order to maintain that rockfall hazard, they would actually have to build a berm on that road and then also scale the upper rocks.
They talked about scaling the rocks. However, the hillside felt like if you do that, you would disturb that upper area probably more than they felt they were comfortable with. So they actually said, no, we're not comfortable with you going up and trying to pick rocks up off the slope. Feel like it ought to be left alone. When they presented it, they came back and said that their analysis, and I didn't hear about the berm, the discussion at Hillside was the geotech came back and said, hey, this road is wide enough that it'll collect any rock fall that comes off of the hillside. That was their recommendation based on their analysis.
Okay. I know it's, did you read it? Anyone else
Yeah,
read
I did. I read it.
It said that it needed a berm.
I saw the same thing. I thought it
Okay.
needed a berm. And just, having gone out there and looked at it, I mean, there is a true rock fall potential
Yeah,
there.
there is.
That hill is very steep with seemingly loose rocks.
Yeah.
So it was a concern of mine as well that we're building into that area.
So I guess what I'm saying is they should build a berm.
Should we have them look at building?
Yes.
And that was just what they came back. The hillside was okay with it, but yeah, we can have them look at a berm and designing a berm along there to try to capture that and keep it on that road.
Yeah, I mean, the language of the geotech firm was the rocks will fall. I mean, that's why they brought up the scaling,
Right,
you know?
right.
So, I mean, to me, the berm would just be obviously in the best interest of them and their subdivision, so.
Okay. And again, you're not disturbing anymore because it's just the road. We'd have them somehow tie that into the road and put that berm there so as they come off and land on
Yeah.
the road, the berm could catch them. Yeah, we can have
It might
them.
actually look better than that old road anyway, if it has a
Might-
berm on top of it.
Might hide it.
So Daniel, you want to make a motion with that in the motion?
Can we discuss it a little bit more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to discuss this hill's clearly disturbed. So yeah, having something on it will clean it up, as it says in the proposal. Cutting into the higher portion, what is over 40%? Is that typically outside of the hillside ordinance? Is that correct?
Yeah, so this area here, unless they could show it was not consistent with the surrounding topography, then you can make the argument. But other than that, you can't disturb it. So yeah, they're leaving that all alone. So everything above the old road stays where it's at. Everything below the road gets disturbed.
Okay.
That makes sense. And I wish I had a better picture, and I thought I did. But anyways, it's right in through here is what would be disturbed where the road is. And
Is there two roads?
there's another bench up here, and I took somebody from St. George who's been here a long time, and they couldn't tell me what it was, so I gave up. And I'm not totally sure why they have another bench up here. There's a bench area up here that's been disturbed.
Okay.
The old road comes right through there, and then through the tunnel.
Oh, okay, so it's the old road they can't. I keep looking at the bench, so
Yeah,
that
I know, and
higher
I
stuff,
made
that higher
that
stuff won't be touched.
Yeah,
I'm
I made
good.
that
We're
mistake
good.
at planning commission too, and then someone got up and
Okay, I
corrected me.
feel okay about it. Having looked at that, yeah, it's super messed up all the way up to the old road.
It
so
is.
it'd
So
be good to
so
have
this scar would still remain plus all of this, and Hillside just felt like it wasn't worth messing with, just to leave it alone and just take everything from the road down.
Wes, do they own where that upper scar is?
I think they own to a portion. I'm not sure if they own up there. I think Myrna Stout owns a majority of this hillside right here.
It would be nice if they did some mitigation on it if they own it.
And we can bring it up with them and maybe with Myrna and see if there's a possible way that if they're willing to landscape that or something, maybe dress that up. It's a good question.
Should we put as, almost like to make it a requirement, but I don't know. It would be nice to, I don't know.
I'll bring it up and see if there's a possibility that they could, working with Myrna, could get in there and clean that slope up and try to dress it up with their development.
Okay.
Any other questions? Ready for a motion?
I guess I won't put that portion in the motion since we don't know if they own it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't, but I'll
Okay.
check and see and make sure.
Okay, all right. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the hillside development permit for Twin Lakes development for 54 townhome units to be known as Twin Lakes on approximately 6.82 acres located north of Gateway Drive, east of Cottonwood Springs Road, and west of Twin Lakes Resort Subdivision, with the condition that a berm is built along the old, is it an old highway? The old highway for rock fall mitigation.
Second.
Motion by Danielle, seconded by Greg. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Do we just want to move forward to the plat
Yeah,
approval?
just a motion on the preliminary plat.
Make a motion, we approve the preliminary plat for Twin Lakes Townhomes.
Second.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Vardell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Want a motion to table?
We need a motion to table number 9, and that's coming back on October 7th as well.
Mayor, motion to table item number 9 to be moved to October 7th.
Second.
Motion by Danielle, seconded by Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I don't have any appointments to boards. Reports. Vardell, you have anything?
I do not. Thank you, Mayor.
Greg?
No reports tonight.
Brian?
No.
Okay, the only thing I have is if you have nothing going on Saturday, Memory Matters is having a fundraiser at Vernon Wortham Park, pancake breakfast at 8:30, but a program will start at 11. And I'll let Danielle talk about the next thing.
Okay.
Okay.
We had the Art Summit today, and it was fantastic. It was put on by the Art Commission. The Art Summit is held for each of the organizations. Anybody who's involved with the arts is welcome to come, but the arts organizations that receive RAP tax funding are actually required to come, and we did discuss RAP tax and its future and its past and its future, and also today we honored giving the Excellence in the Arts Award to the late Dr. Lynn Dean, who probably most of you know from, I know my sister-in-law took piano lessons. My sister-in-law Rachel took piano lessons from him, and then she had all of her kids take piano lessons from him, and apparently he was just a really amazing man, and his family was there. So we honored him, and then also one of our community's greatest treasures, Matt Clark. We honored Matt there today also. So it was a great summit, and super grateful for all of our arts organizations. We have, for the size of our city, we have an abundance of nonprofit organizations and arts organizations. We are richly blessed in the arts.
And then the Doctors Volunteer Clinic Gala is Saturday night.
Yeah, sorry, I should have announced that. The Doctors Volunteer Clinic Gala is this Saturday night at 6 p.m. I think it's sold out. So if you don't have tickets, get them next year. It's going to be...
It's a great cause, and the money all goes to people that really need health care, and mental health care.
That is at the convention center, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And we are not meeting next week. We will all be at a conference in Salt Lake, so we'll see you the following week.
Okay. I'd like to note that it is 4:58 p.m.